Hey, shalom, YouTubers. This is Sister Kate. I wanted to talk to you about terrorism because I have been stating, like on my Facebook page, that terrorism is 40, 50 years old. And in my mind, I'm thinking back to when the Israeli Olympians were held hostage and then executed. But if you do a quick Google search, there is a lot more history that I knew of, but I wasn't associating with terrorism, including the assassination of Archduke Ferdinand that led up to the First World War. But that's a very simple explanation of that war and what was happening politically. So the very first terrorists that were listed in the Wikipedia article were called the Sicarii, which I, as a messianic believer, had just started hearing about what Sicarii were. Pastor Joe talked about them in a sermon, and they were actually Jewish men who assassinated people who were collaborating with the Roman government, which is if you think about it, that's kind of a very sophisticated political operation right there for the year 30. Anyway, then the Reign of Terror. I didn't even think about that either, but the Reign of Terror was the time in France when all the aristocrats and rich people in their society were being executed by guillotine, which is one of those things that just freaks me out. But they were being executed, and it was called the Reign of Terror. And it just didn't occur to me, like, you're right, that was kind of terroristic too. I mean, just grabbing people and lopping their heads off. Does that sound familiar? So it's been around as a political arm, and it's usually linked with anarchism, which is a total lack of government, and nationalism, which is kind of on the rise right now in reaction to the globalism that was very prominent and popular for the last 8 years here, I mean in the United States, but also, hello, globally. Then in the 1800s, there was a rise in Ireland, and it's another insurgency that I knew about and know a lot of details about, but it just didn't occur to me that, hey, they were terrorists too. But the Fenians and the anti-British who were setting bombs and assassinating people in Ireland, especially Northern Ireland, that was terroristic stuff too. I mean, it was acts that you couldn't predict, and there was no, at least on the Irish side, no organized military like army that you could face. It's just these British soldiers in Irish territory getting picked on. And if you think about it, John Brown, during the Civil War time when he was fighting against slavery, he was committing terrorist acts on private individuals and going to homesteads and killing the entire male part of the family and stuff. That was also terrorism. So I was inaccurate. Terrorism is like 2,000 years old, and we're getting really tired of it. And since we're on that topic, Judge Report was reporting today that ISIS claims that they did the Berlin truck massacre that happened recently, but they also have called for jihad for people all around the world, which is one of the problems with having an internet. They can connect, they can put something out on a website, and all the people who support them can read it, and you don't know where they are, and you cannot predict how they're going to react to instructions. And they've instructed people to attack Christians, to make it a bloody Christian holiday this Christmas, at churches, hotels, coffee shops, markets, and public places. And this is exactly what I was talking about in my other video. Please stay away from those places as much as you can. And if you are going, like if you're going to a Christmas service at your church, it's not so much probably a little country church, but if you're going to some big cathedral-y thing in some big city, keep your eyes peeled and be ready should something happen. All right, bless you. I hope you stay safe, and terrorism blocked. All right, shalom.